Before we go anywhere, I want to slow down today, okay? Just for a second. Now, this isn't about fixing anything. This is about recognition and being able to understand what we're going through so we don't repeat some of the things that we've done. If we're not honest with ourselves, we end up arguing with the world. Who do you act like when you're alone? When there's no audience, nobody there to judge, nobody that you might be putting on one of those masks for, I've talked about in one of my shorts. Let's get to the core value of who we are internally, not the stuff that you post, not what you share with other people intentionally. Who did you tell yourself you were going to be this year? What have you told yourself in a quiet moment, reflecting on the things that you know you want to change? Now, hold that version of you that you wanted to be, that you've talked to yourself, internal dialogue about. I'm not talking about crazy talk, talking to yourself, but the image of yourself that you really want to bring to the surface. Hold that image. It took me a while to ask myself this question, okay? What do you make excuses to overlook? To kind of skate past, minimize it, play it down so that it's not as bad as it seems. These are the traits that we need to recognize, because I can guarantee other people do. This one's a little bit harder, all right? What have you avoided because it's hard to admit, hard to face? You don't talk about it with anybody. It's in here. You don't share it. And it's not because you're weak and you didn't fail, but because admitting it would mean you can't pretend anymore that it doesn't exist. This is where people kind of feel alone, insecure. That's important to recognize, okay? Now listen to me carefully. This isn't where we tear ourselves apart. This is where we stop lying to ourselves. Honesty isn't punishment. Honesty is clarity. Let's not use the answers to these questions to feel ashamed. Let's use them to move forward this year with a clearer picture of ourselves. Because you can't walk towards who you want to be if you don't understand who you actually are. I had to answer these questions too. And to be honest, sometimes the pictures didn't line up. Not because I wasn't trying. I realized something when I sat with these questions. I realized something about myself. It wasn't that I didn't want to change. It was that I was more comfortable in the wrong place. It felt safer to stay in the dark that I knew than to come out to the light of truth I was afraid to face. The promises that I made to change. And trust me, it wasn't because the dark was good. It was just a familiar place, a place where I could stay in the moments that I already knew instead of moving towards something I wasn't sure about. So I had to make a decision, a tough one, and actually change. Looking at who I was and where I was at, was exactly what I needed to do to realize where I needed to go and how I needed to get there. Sometimes it's not about the destination that you have in mind. It's about the route that you have to take to get there. And I know you've heard a metaphor like that before, but it is so true. You can't go straight from point A to point B. There were a lot of C, D, E's and everything in between my journey to where I am now. But they all mattered, and they were all parts of reflection of myself that I had to face in order to get here. Take that into mind, okay? Because as we could is a lot different than as we should. It's not just a statement. It's not just my brand. It's something that I believe in. That there are things that I could have done, but then there are the things I should. With that, have a great journey, family.